Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining CCI for this CCI Cyber Camp and qualifying event information session. We are happy to have you. Before we get started, please make sure you are muted throughout the session. We very much appreciate that. And now I would like to introduce Luis da Silva, Executive Director of the Commonwealth Cyber Initiative. Luis will be kicking off today's information session with a brief background of CCI. Welcome, Luis.
Thank you very much, Kendall, and welcome everyone. I'm really delighted that you all are interested in the Cyber Camp. We're really excited about this. It's the first time we run the Cyber Camp. Kendall will talk a little bit more about what's going to be involved, but the activities that are being designed especially for this event are really exciting, and we're getting a lot of help from some key players in the cybersecurity area. So this is really going to be great, and I hope that we'll get participation from the broad CCI network. So I just want to tell you a few words about what CCI is. We are a fairly new initiative in Virginia, which represents an investment from the Commonwealth of Virginia in cybersecurity and in establishing the state as a leader in cybersecurity education, research, and innovation. So we include every higher education, every university and the vast majority of the community colleges in Virginia. So there are a total of 40 institutions that you can see on the map. The map is actually missing one, our latest institution to join, which is VMI. So every single university in Virginia, many of the community colleges in the state. There are about 320 researchers that are part of CCI. So those are professors, postdoctoral researchers, research faculty, and so on in all of these institutions. And our role is really to establish the state as a center of excellence in cybersecurity, both nationally and globally. And the Cyber Camp is an activity that's part of one of our mission lines. And if you can move to the next slide, Kendall. Yeah, so we have three mission lines: research, workforce development, and innovation. And they are all really connected. So a lot of the research ends up in innovation, new products, startups in Virginia, and so on. We have this focus on workforce development, so making sure that we help create the most well-educated and diverse workforce in cybersecurity in the country. And the Cyber Camp is an activity that aligns with all three, but I think more with the workforce development. So we have lots of really excellent degree programs in Virginia that focus on cybersecurity, and I'm sure a lot of you are part of some of these programs. And what we aim to do is to provide some additional training. So a mixture of some additional technical training as well as some essential skills, so that when you hit the market, you are more marketable as a cybersecurity professional. So the Cyber Camp will have those two types of activities. Our focus is the intersection between cybersecurity, autonomous systems, and intelligence or data. So in this Cyber Camp, we'll focus more on the security aspects, the cybersecurity aspects of CCI. Thanks, Kendall. And I think the next slide just shows the need that there is for professionals in the cybersecurity job market. There's a huge need throughout the country, but even given that the whole country needs more cybersecurity professionals, Virginia is one of the states that in particular are very rich in jobs in this area and really need people who are well qualified. So once you graduate, you're going to be hitting a very hot job market, which is great news for you. And we want to also help you again be more competitive for some of the top jobs in this area. So these are just a few words about CCI and our role, and then I think Kendall will then discuss in more detail what the Cyber Camp is going to be about, and what is the qualifying event for us to select participants for the Cyber Camp. And thanks again, Kendall, for inviting me to say a few words.
Oh, thank you, Luis. We really appreciate your time today. And let's get started with an overview of today's discussion. So we will be talking about the qualifying event in the CCI Cyber Camp. Within this qualifying event, we will discuss eligibility, how to register for the qualifying event, how to access the cyber range, what next in completing challenges, invitations to top scorers. CCI Camp is invitation only, qualifying event dates, qualifying event challenge areas. I'll pause for questions. And then we will move forward with the CCI Cyber Camp, challenge areas, the workshops, challenge creators, and then just sharing the proposed schedule for the camp. And then again, I will pause for questions. So eligibility. Students must be an undergraduate student attending a public or private Virginia college, university, or community college. Students must register and participate in the qualifying event. This event is to ensure camp attendees have the necessary basic skills in Excel, Python, R, and possibly Kali Linux, so they can concentrate on enhancing those and other skills. Students must receive an invitation from CCI after the qualifying event. There is no registration for the CCI Cyber Camp. Students we find eligible to participate in the CCI Cyber Camp based on their performance at the qualifying event will be invited to attend the camp. Only students who receive an invitation by CCI after the qualifying event may attend the Cyber Camp. How to register for the qualifying event. Visit our website and then you will click menu, scroll down to talent development, click the plus sign, click on the CCI Cyber Camp, scroll down to register now. This action will take you to the Eventbrite page. Please fill out all the information. A confirmation note will be sent to the email you registered with. To make things easier for you today, my colleague Susie will provide the link to take you straight to the Eventbrite page in the chat. And then she will also send you to the CCI Cyber Camp page, webpage, so you can learn more if you haven't already registered. Thank you, Susie. How to access. On May 7th at 8 a.m., you will receive an email with a link to the cyber range. Click on the link and it will take you to the cyber range. Click on start, just like you see here on the bottom left of your screen. This is what it will look like, and follow the prompt to register for the cyber range. You'll want to use your first and last name that you registered with, so we know, our top scorer, so you can get an invite. If you have any issues, you can reach out to me, Kendall Beebe, at kwbeebe@vt.edu. This information will also be given to you again when you receive the email with a link to the cyber range. Again, if you have any issues, you can reach out to me, but we will also be sending you troubleshooting information if you're having any issues getting on the site. What next? Once registered with the cyber range, you have 4 days to complete all challenges. There are 4 challenges within each category. You can only solve each challenge once. The scoreboard is live. You will be able to see your score after you complete each challenge. Can't complete all challenges in one sitting? No worries at all. You can leave and come back at any point during those 4 days. And again, that's May 7th through May 10th. Invitations. On May 21st, students will receive their invitations for the CCI Cyber Camp. Qualified students, based on their performance at the qualifying event, will be invited to attend the CCI Cyber Camp. We hope to take as many students as possible. By June 4th, prospective campers must accept their invitation. If we do not receive a response after a follow-up, your spot will go to the next eligible student. Qualifying event dates. Registration for the qualifier closes May 6, 2021 at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The qualifying event opens on May 7th, 2021 at 8 a.m., as I previously mentioned, and then closes on May 10th, 2021 at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Qualifying event challenge areas. There are 4 challenge areas: networking, reconnaissance, cryptography, and web. And as I mentioned before, there'll be 4 challenges within each challenge area. Okay, I'm going to pause here for questions. You can submit your questions through the chat directly to me, Kendall Beatty, or to everyone, and I will try to answer everyone's questions. After questions, we will go on to the CCI Cyber Camp. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions thus far. Oh, here we go. How much experience in cybersecurity is expected for those planning to attend the qualifying event? I would say that it is ranged from pretty entry level to intermediate. So some challenges could take you, or some 5 to 10 minutes, and it could end up, some challenges could take you maybe an hour to complete. You said this event is only reserved for undergraduates. I am graduating close to May 7th. We'll have graduated when the camp begins. Does this disqualify me from attending? No, it does not. It does not disqualify you. Is the qualifying event Jeopardy based? Yes, it is. It is in the form kind of like Jeopardy. That's exactly what it looks like. You'll be given a question and then you answer it, and it'll be submitted just like in Jeopardy, and it's laid out just like Jeopardy, and then you can see where your score is. It is cybersecurity focused, yes. If you already have a CyberRange account, you do not need to create a new one. Just make sure that it has your first and last name. The CyberRange does give you the opportunity to give yourself a cool name, kind of like a team name. But for the sake of being able to contact you all and make sure that you guys get an invitation, if you are a top scorer, then we would like you to use your first and last name. I just want to make sure I get everybody. This will be an individual based event. So you are going up against, you're not going up against any teams. You don't need to create a team or anything like that. It's just for you. At this time, for the qualifying event, you do not need to be familiar with Linux systems. If for some reason that changes, I'll make sure to send everybody that information, and with the information on which systems you'll need to know.
Kendall, there's a question about point distribution, whether all the questions have the same number of points or whether it varies.
They all have the same number of points. I'm sorry, they do vary by difficulty. My apologies. So it could go from 10, 20, 30, or 40. So it ranges by difficulty. So when you register for the qualifying event, you are going to get an email from me giving you the link to the CyberRange. And again, that'll give you instructions on what to do. And also will give you troubleshooting information if you have any difficulties getting into the camp. I will also be available from May 7th to May 10th, even on the weekend. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, again, I'm just going to throw my email in the chat right here if anybody has any questions. And again, you'll be getting an email from me, so hopefully you'll see my email when I send you that note. And after the event, you'll do the challenges, and then after the event, you'll hear from us if you're a top scorer. And again, you'll see your ratings as you go through the event. But it's just register for the qualifier. You'll get a note from me giving you instructions, and then you'll go through and complete the challenges, and then you'll hear from us. Let's see here. Yes. So since we are earning points, the participants with the highest scores will receive an invitation to the event. Yes. If you don't have any cybersecurity experience, I still suggest, and if you're interested in the area of focus, I still suggest that you do register for the qualifying event. It's a fun exercise, and you can see if that's something you want, to study in the future. So I did receive a question on that. You don't need to have cybersecurity knowledge. I mean, it's probably for the best if you want to have a successful time completing the challenges, but I still suggest that you do take it because I think it'd be really fun, and it's a fun challenge for you, and you can see if you'd like to take that in the future. And just to be cognizant of time, I am going to move on. There is another question portion at the end, and we just have a few more slides. So I just want to make sure that we get everybody's questions, but I also want to make sure that we get through the presentation. So I'm just going to pause questions for right now, and then we will go back to that in very, very shortly. Okay, the CCI Cyber Camp, it will be held July 7th. This is a Saturday, July 17th, Saturday, August 7th, and Saturday, August 14th, 2021. There will be 4 challenge areas. There will be a cyber analytics portion, which will be hosted on a Shiny app. And then there will be the network traffic analysis challenge area, which will be hosted on the cyber range. Cryptography, which also will be hosted on the cyber range, and then reverse engineering that will also be hosted on the cyber range. We will have some workshops, mock interviews. Mock interviews will take place between August 1st and August 13th to accommodate your schedules. Students will sign up for a time slot and assign to a CCI counselor and cybersecurity expert. There will be 6 questions that will evaluate students' technical, soft, and behavioral skills. All students will be given the same questions. There's a resume writing workshop. We'll be hosting 3. July 31st with Virginia Tech, August 3rd with Northern Virginia Community College, and then August 4th with UVA. I wanted to introduce you all to our challenge creators. We have 5. We have Laura Freeman, Director, Intelligent Systems Lab, Virginia Tech Hume Center. Stephanie Travis, Director, Senior Military College Cyber Institute. David Oranchak, Software Engineer, Computer Scientist, Cryptographer at SHLD. And just to give you a little background on David Oranchak, Oranchak was on the team that cracked the famous 340-character cryptogram of the Zodiac killers. That's really awesome that he was able to join us. Lee Allison, Research Staff Member, Institute for Defense Analysis. And then Trampus Howe, Adjunct Faculty Member, Software Reverse Engineering, Virginia Tech. Here is just a little draft schedule, just sharing what your days could look like. Each day has a part A and a part B. Campers will receive points for completing challenges and participating in mock interviews and workshops. Before beginning the challenges, a counselor will provide brief instructions on how to complete them and to give a basic overview. Campers will always have access to a counselor during the day, during the days to ask any questions they may have. Some challenges do supply hints, but that does result in point deductions. You have the flexibility to complete the camp challenges during the allotted time during those days. Some challenges can take 5 minutes and then up to 1 hour. When time has concluded, all campers and counselors will meet back on Zoom to close out the challenge and or day. As seen on the schedule, there are breaks for lunch. We are choosing to host the camp on Saturdays to make it more convenient and flexible for summer schedules, jobs, internships, and vacations. And then, let's see here. And then again, I'm going to pause here for questions. You can submit your questions again through the chat directly to me or to everyone, and I'll try to answer everybody's questions.
If I may just make an observation. So Kendall mentioned that there's going to be 3 workshops for resume writing, right? And they are led by people from 3 different institutions in CCI, so Nova Community College, UVA, and Virginia Tech. But you can attend regardless of whether you're going to any of these 3 institutions, right? So
Yes.
all campers can attend one of the resume writing workshops, and some of those are not held on Saturdays as well. So there's a little bit more flexibility in schedule.
Yes, I believe. Let's see. Yep, we have one on the Saturday. The Virginia Tech one will be held on Saturday on August 3rd. That's a Tuesday, and August 4th, that is a Wednesday. And we tried to make sure it was during a lunch schedule. So I believe it's either from 12 to 1 or from 1 to 2 to make it a little bit more convenient for everybody. And then I am going to right now, I'm going to stop sharing, and then I can answer your questions in the chat.
So there was a question left over from the first session about what study materials, whether we have study materials that we would recommend before the qualifying exam.
Before the qualifier,
the qualifying event, I should say, not an exam. I don't want to scare people.
Yeah, that's aggressive. I would say no and yes. I mean, make sure you brush up on some of your skills. But no, I don't think that you would need anything. But the great thing is that you guys do have 4 days to complete it. So if day 1 at 8 a.m., you go in and take a look at the challenge areas, don't answer the questions right away. You have some time. So if you do need to look back at some study materials, you have that opportunity. You don't need to complete it within an hour or 2 or 3 hour time slot. You have 4 days to complete it. And the same thing goes for the CCI camp. If we do, since that one will be a little bit more hands-on with counselors and they are creating the challenges for you all, that is why we're going to have counselors the day of. At the beginning of each of the challenge areas, they'll be doing a brief overview and letting you know everything you're going to need. And we will let you know prior if there's anything. I don't think you're going to need to download anything, but if there's any information that you all need prior, we'll make sure that you guys have it, so you're not scrambling the day of. Let's see, just want to make sure that I don't. This is all virtual. Yes, this will be 100% virtual just because we are still in COVID times. So we're trying to make this more convenient. Hopefully in the future, this will be in person at our campus in Arlington, which would be really fun. Will there be informational sessions in addition to challenges? I'm not 100% sure what the question here is, but as I mentioned, there will be a counselor that will be giving an overview so you are more successful in completing the challenges and know what you need to do for those challenges.
But if the question, if I interpret the question correctly, we try to have the whole camp very heavy on hands-on activities and not a lot of talking head lectures. So there's going to be very little lecturing. Most of it is going to be either challenges or some of these workshops. So you'll go through mock interviews, you'll go through workshops that will help you write your resume and so on, and not a lot of lecturing.
And I think somebody just found a typo, so I appreciate you a lot. You saw one of the slides, it said July 17th. I do apologize. It is July 31st. Yep, no software, no softwares to install. It would just be Zoom. This will, and again, Cyber Range is all web-based, so you won't need to download anything. And as for the Shiny app, for the actual CCI Cyber Camp, we'll make sure you guys have those necessary tools prior to starting that off. But for at least the qualifier, you don't need to download anything. I think I answered everybody. Oh, that's very nice. Looks like there was a recommendation to use Google Chrome or Firefox for the Cyber Range. That's very nice of you. Yes, if you don't qualify this year, you are more than welcome to qualify again next year. We're really excited to host this again. And again, I think I mentioned that if some students based off vacation or work or something else and they're unable to do it, we will have a wait list for students. And so we will take the next top scorer and they will be able to be invited to the camp. I'm just going to hold off for just a few more minutes to see if anybody has any more questions. And if not, I can give you guys back 30 minutes of your day. Sorry, Luis, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say that Kendall is the brain behind the Cyber Camp. You know, the person who came up with this idea and is doing all the work putting this together. And it's really shaping up as something really unique. As she mentioned, Orange Chalk is one of our contributors with some of the challenges. Kendall, I think, is a very big fan of the Zodiac movie. So if you have seen the Zodiac movie, you know what the cipher is all about, and he is one of the people who cracked it. So yeah, I'm really delighted. I hope that you all enjoy the activity. Do participate in the qualifying exam, qualifying event. As Kendall mentioned, even if you are not really an expert in cybersecurity or just starting or just interested, I think it's worth going through the challenges and seeing the kind of activity that we have there and trying them out, because I think some of them don't really require a lot of knowledge, previous knowledge of cybersecurity. So yeah, I'm really glad to have you all here. I hope that we see a lot of you again during the Cyber Camp itself.
Oh, sorry. I saw one more question come in. Do we have to register anywhere to participate in the qualifying challenges? Yes, you do. Susie, if you are still on the call, do you mind sharing that link with them one more time at the end of this so they have it? If she is, if she's not, I can grab it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Okay. I just sent it to everybody that, oh, thank you, Susie. That takes you straight to the Eventbrite for the qualifying event registration. Or again, if you're still unsure if you want to participate, go check out our website. The link that Susie just provided will give you more information, a lot of the information that I just discussed. Actually, since Luis mentioned David Orenchak, he's actually finished all of his challenges. There's 15. Which is really exciting. And yeah, there's about 15 challenges. And I'm not the most technical person. And there were even, just to talk about the range, there were some that there is no way I'd be able to figure that out. And I have no cybersecurity background, but there were two that I could figure out. So and it's really fun and it's going to be really great. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. If you guys have any additional questions, I'm just again going to put my email in the chat. So if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to email me. There is some time before the qualifier. And again, thank you guys so much for joining, and we really hope to see you guys at the qualifying event.